What's going on, guys? Professional Madden player T. Davis back again today with another breakdown. We're looking at the spacing concept today, and this is really, honestly, in Madden 22, one of the best years that the spacing concept has ever been. But you see it prevalently used year in and year out through all the top pro Madden players because it does a great job, especially versus zone coverage, to space the field. You can create a little check down out of it as well. But just a lot. You want great spacing on all your routes for every formation. But when you utilize these, these underneath hitches, these curls, and you space the field horizontally, it really creates a lot for the defense. As you see here, and we're in the skills trainer, which is a great tool if you guys haven't used it to try to learn the basics of Madden and football and put them together. And of course, in this video, we're gonna get into practice mode and break it down on a higher level than just the skills trainer. But to start out here, I just wanted to break it down on a simple level. And of course, make sure you guys go ahead and like this video if you like pro player Madden tips just like this. Of course, gameplays as well on my channel. I have ebooks and coaching sessions down available in links in the description below. So if you guys like what you see and you want to see at a little bit of a deeper, more experienced level, check out my ebooks down below. Get a coaching session with me. We can break down all these type of things in coaching sessions as well. And subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, of course. Plenty of content throughout the Madden 22 and NFL season. So much more content on the way when it comes to Madden, daily fantasy, fantasy sports, and football. So let's get right into it here, though. Of course, check out all those links in the description below. But you see here in the skills trainer, it says, the spacing concept spaces receivers horizontally across the field. It is made up of a hitch, spot, and flat route to the side with 3 receivers. So you see here the tight ends on that little flat route. And this is a great tool in the red zone as well. But the tight end on that flat route, which we kind of broke down in our flood concept video, where these tight end flat routes, absolute money this year because the zones just don't really play it. Then, of course, you have these underneath kind of hitches or spot routes, whatever you want to call it. But they're going to kind of sit down against the zone coverage, and you can add some other routes to it to make it even better. But they kind of just sit down underneath the zones or in between the zones, and it's a great check down tool that you can kind of thread the needle with. So I recommend a quarterback that has some velocity, whether you use the gunslinger ability or set feet lead as we have here at Brady. So, but let's go ahead and run it a few times. Like I said, great versus zone coverage. They're going to kind of just sit down underneath, and you want to make the right read. So the first read, though, for the skills trainer, of course, we want to check is the hitch route on the right side here. And a lot of times, too, if it is man coverage or they're covered, you can low pass these with the left trigger on PlayStation or Xbox, and you're gonna be able to catch it, even if it's contested usually. So that's another tool to add in case they are covered. Just low pass it, and it's gonna help you out a little bit more. So let's go ahead and run it here. Looking for circle. Of course, he sits down right there. You see it? Just sits down. The zone runs out to the flat route to the tight end on the flat, and then we just have that hitch kind of just sit down. So let's do it again here. You see how the flat tender runs out on R1? Our circle receiver Godwin just sits down underneath the zones. Easy completion. We get an easy 8 yards out of it. Now we're looking for the slot receiver on that little spot route or hitch route, whatever you want to call it here. And but this time, see how I know it's going to say I did this wrong, but the circle is just so wide open sitting down there that you have to throw it to him. X was kind of covered over the middle. Let's see if we can get it to him this time. See how that guy's kind of just playing him, though? So it's hard to throw it to him. But that's a situation where you can playmaker him to the left or the right. But it's very difficult to throw that route if he's kind of sitting there like that. I don't know why they were trying to make me throw that. And then see how, so this time they want us to look for the flat route. If they play it back, we talked about in the flood concept, these tight end flat routes just get open pretty much versus everything this year. You can check it down for an easy completion. You can sometimes turn that 2-yard flat into a bigger play as well. So you kind of want to, I pressed the wrong button there. I double hiked it. Rookie mistake. So let's go ahead and get into practice. I'm going to break this down a little bit more because the skills trainer doesn't really show us exactly what we want. It just kind of shows us at a simple, basic level. All right, guys, here we are in practice mode, and there's 2 types of ways that I kind of want to break this down out of the trips and the bunch set. But you can utilize this, like I said, in any single formation in the game. When you take a look at the play spacing switch out of the bunch formation, this play is just absolute money versus the zone or the zone blitz in general. So let me find you guys like a zone blitz type of defense that we can really utilize this out of. Let's go ahead and do, not seeing a lot of great zone blitzes here. We'll go ahead and do overload 3 seam. So when you take a look at it here, what you're going to see is all these little underneath routes are going to kind of sit down, right? Like I said, underneath the zones, if they blitz, it helps it even out a little bit better because they just kind of sit down and you can throw a quick read against the blitz. So our main reads, and Brown is kind of there. If they're not playing outside of the hard flats, we can throw it to him, but he's more there to bring the zones out wide to allow these routes to sit down over the middle. Same thing with Bernard out of the backfield. He's going out wide to allow these routes over the middle to kind of sit down. So this is what you want to look for. Remember I said, like, it's only versus zone coverage. But you see there sometimes, too, you can hit that quickly to the sidelines if you want to as well. If they're not playing hard flats and they're not playing, out there, to the sidelines, just don't be afraid to throw that quickly. It's a quick cutting out route, flat route that you can get out there quickly. But mainly the reason is to bring them out so we can hit these underneath routes. So let's try to do that again here. This time you see Gronk just kind of sits down right there. And we'll take a look at the replay here. The flat defender had no choice but to get out to, the outside receiver here. And you'll see Antonio Brown, this little quick out. The flat defender has no choice. He's a little late on it, but he has to get out there, right? So when he gets out there, Gronk just sits down right there, and that's an easy completion that you'll ever make, right? That's why that's what makes this play so good. And in Madden 22, honestly, zone defense is more popular than man defense, especially on the next-gen consoles. So you're going to see a lot of zone defense. You're going to see a lot of guys try to create pressure, and this is just something you can go to, throughout the game that's really going to cause problems for the defense. So you see here, same thing. They go out wide. He sits down with Gronk. So let's take a look to the left side now because our slot receiver, he's pretty covered over the middle, so it's tough to get it to Godwin. Let's take a look at the left side here, and they're just kind of leaving our outside running back on the little swing route to the outside there. So you can just check it down to them if they're not playing any flat routes out there. And then you can also put them on a little out route. I kind of prefer that. Of course, out routes to the running back, absolute money this year. And you see there, no flat route at all. They played kind of over the middle to Mike Evans on that little hitch that sat down. So we can just check it out to Bernard here. So let's go ahead and do it one last time out of this look. You see there, once again, this time they're all sitting down. Gronk, easy completion. Now, I want to show you guys a setup out of the trips tight end set, or any trips formation, really, that I just absolutely love. One of those spacing concepts that we just really love. And we're going to do it out of let's see if we have a trip set. Let's see. We can do it out of Trey Y Flex. Let's go ahead and pick the play verticals. And we will do a basic zone coverage. So, what I like to do out of this, and we'll kind of just get Gronk out of the way on a streak. Actually, if you have Hard Route Master, you want to put him on a corner route. And then I like to put my running back on a little out route like this. So you have that out route, tight end kind of flood to the right over there, right? That's your flood. Then on the backside here is we're going to create that spacing concept, right? So put triangle on a hitch, outside receiver on the left square, or X on PlayStation on a little smoke screen, and then circle here, I like to put it on a curl. But you can also do a hitch as well. And you're going to see these three kind of hitches / smoke screens. They're going to kind of just sit there, right? They're going to sit down against zone coverage, and you just want to see where the defense flocks to, and you make the right read. So let's go ahead and run it here. You see here how the flat defender goes out wide to the smoke screen, and we're able to just check it down to that hitch. Now, like I said, if you want gunslinger, you want a quarterback with a little bit more velocity to get the ball there quicker, and I like to low pass these usually as well. But you see here the flat defender, as we hike it, he just kind of runs out to, kind of sits in no man's land, right? We had either one, but he goes out to the hitch a little bit more, allowing Godwin to just sit down here. We're able to hit that off for an easy completion here. So one of these hitches is always going to be open versus zone coverage. Let's go ahead and do it again here. Set it up just like this. Going to look like that. And let's see if we can get it to Mike Evans maybe in the middle this time. Nope, they guard Mike Evans, so what do? We sit down and throw it to triangle for an easy completion. So sometimes they're going to go over to triangle, sometimes they're going to go to the smoke screen, sometimes they're going to go to Evans. You just have to be ready, be aware, and make the right read, because they're all going to sit down underneath that zone coverage, and you make the right read. It's all day long. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video breaking down the spacing concept in Madden 22, one of the best concepts you can do in the game, especially too when you get down to the red zone and it's zone coverage. Something you can really go to, something definitely to keep practicing, and you can learn to get to that next level. Utilize this with some deep crossing routes behind it as well. You can add these type of hot routes into any play in the game, which makes it so difficult to defend. So go ahead and like this video, comment down below your thoughts, what your favorite concept is in the game, and of course subscribe to the channel here. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you guys' support so much, man. It's been amazing throughout early here in the Madden 22 season, but we have plenty content still to come on the way all year long. But until next time, your boy T Davis is out.